Well, I'm long overdue for a ministry update, so let me tell you some highlights from the last few months. In November, I led a team to a country in the Arabian Gulf where I took 7 Americans, partnered with local believers there and my coworker from Lebanon. And we worked with an ecumenical group of 11 different evangelical churches from different denominations, different nationalities, living and working there. And they all partner together to share the gospel. They also are building a church building together that they'll all use in the religious complex that the government of that country has given to Christians to be able to use. And so that was kind of the launch pad, our headquarters, and also a site for ministry, because we went to see the construction site and there got to talk to some of the workers. Some of them were Muslim, and I got to lead one of them to Christ. So that was really awesome. Otherwise, we went and visited people at their businesses, with permission, of course, in their homes, at cafes where people would bring their friends, Christians would bring their friends who didn't know the Lord, and we'd talk to them. And even in the park, we went prayer walking with a Filipino group of churches who were really bold. And so that was really awesome. So wherever we went and we saw opportunities and felt the Spirit prompting us, we would share. And we just saw surprising openness to the gospel. And so that was really awesome. Stats for that trip: 458 heard the gospel, and we had 111 professions of faith. In other news, we are working on a new season of the International Commission podcast, and now we're doing video for every episode. So it makes it a little more fun to listen and watch, so you can feel more like you're sitting there in the conversation with us. So if you want to hear mission stories, evangelism tips, travel tips, trivia, all kinds of fun stuff, like, subscribe, watch the International Commission podcast. Our church small group hosted an international Thanksgiving celebration with international students from UNT near us. A lot of them are from India and other parts of Asia. So it was really fun to introduce and share Thanksgiving traditions and food with them. And we also had Indian food, biryani, butter chicken, and played games. And it was a good time of building relationships with them. This year has already been full of all kinds of different ministry, including our church family, my family. We did Feed the Hunger, which is a food pack-a-thon where our whole church will get together, take shifts, partnering with a ministry called Feed the Hunger, and pack thousands of meals. And we all get to do it together. It's like an assembly line thing at different tables. So that was fun. And I don't remember how many meals we packed, but it was a lot. And it was fun this time because all of our kids were old enough to be involved. Recently, I've gotten plugged in with a group of No Place Left practitioners. They're house church leaders, discipleship academy leaders, and students. Some are even on parole, but they do prison ministry and they do ministry externally, doing discipleship residential programs. And so these people will get together, will strategize how to reach, identify, contact, and reach unreached people groups throughout Denton County where I live. And we'll learn evangelism and discipleship tools, and then go out and practice sharing the gospel in the harvest in Denton. So there's a lot of crossover between that group and other ministries that I'm involved in Denton, like SWAG, the International Student Ministry, and other things. So it's really cool to see how God is weaving several of these ministries and groups together. And that's one of the things that I saw overseas in the Middle East that I really love and have had a desire in my heart to see more and more here in the U.S. Churches cross-denominationally, cross-culturally working together for the sake of the kingdom. And that's just a beautiful thing, and it's awesome to see God doing that organically, where we don't have to make it happen. We just have to let it happen and be a part of it and keep saying the next yes after the next yes in humility and in unity for the sake of the task that we have. Another one of those things involving a lot of the same people is the perspectives course. I've done the perspectives class a couple of different times as a student, and I'm on the coordinating team now for the class at my church. And it's been really awesome to go through it again with a different vantage point, and especially to have some of those Indian students involved who are Christians now. Some of them are from a Hindu background, and so they've shared their testimonies with us, and it's gone beyond theory into practical, real life experience that they've gotten to share with us. And we've also taken some of the people who we've identified at our church that are feeling a call into mission work, or at least are kicking the tires of what it looks like to play their role in the Great Commission. We also took some of those and other individuals and families from our church on a local missions trip over spring break called Serve DFW, where one day we had an intense training about God's heart for the nations through Scripture. And we also heard testimonies from some of our friends that grew up Hindu and came to Christ and learned how that happened, and what it is that really struck their heart, how we can communicate the love and message of Jesus to them. Then we did some practice. We had a dinner and game night with international students, a cross-cultural game night up in Denton with one of those partnering ministries. We also went another day to Many Helping Hands, which is a day shelter serving homeless people in Irving. They have a clothes closet. They feed them meals several times a week, hosted at a church. And we got to go and hang out with them. Kim, her business partner, and some of our kids did a craft project with some of the people there. And that was just a great way to show them love, give them something to do, give them a creative outlet, and start conversations with them. Another day I did evangelism training during the morning, and then we went to practice that at a local park where a lot of families from different backgrounds come. We partnered with another ministry to do a book fair, give away books as kind of a conversation starter and an anchor for people to come, and it was great. We had a salvation there, and I met another guy that I'll be able to follow up with because he brings his daughter there regularly. And I had a good conversation with him, and eventually he said that he was ready to give his life to Christ, but then he kind of ran off. So pray that I will get to connect with him again. And then another day we went to do some yard work at a lady's house who is a member of our church, who's widowed. She was really sweet. She has a really cool house that backs up to a lake, and so she wants us to come fishing there sometimes and have picnics because it really brought her joy to see kids running around, and so we definitely will. So what's next? Well, next week, my coworkers on the media and marketing team will go up to Oklahoma City to meet Brooke, who's our only team member who works remote. She's up there all alone most of the time, and it's kind of sad. So we're going to go up and work with her, visit with her, kind of have a mini retreat and a couple of working days where we'll film some social media content. So look out for that. The day we get back from that, the missions discipleship team from my church is hosting a local cross-cultural intensive for some students from a church in Abilene, Texas, where we'll do a similar thing that we did for the local missions trip, but for those students who are already being mobilized by their campus minister, introduce them to different aspects, different avenues of mission, and see where God takes it. Then the day right after that, I'll go out to Mineral Wells, Texas, to meet my father-in-law for a mission project there. That one will include other people I've worked with on mission before here in the States and around the world, so that'll be pretty fun. And then, y'all, I can't wait. Then Kim and I are going on a mission trip to Mexico for our 20th anniversary. We'll go early for a couple of days to Aguas Calientes. They have some hot spring spas there. We've never done anything like that because we're not fancy people, but we'll get to relax and soak and get couples massages and just hang out and enjoy celebrating 20 years married together without having to watch our kids. It's going to be amazing. Our dads are coming to hang out with the kids, so pray for them in the middle of May. And then the rest of our church team will come and meet us, and we'll spend time training and encouraging pastors and their wives, and then partnering with them in whatever ministry that they have planned for us to do. I'm just excited to go and to be there in an area where God has been working through partnerships with our church and some pastors there. Central Mexico is a very unreached place. It's less than 2% evangelical, very little active Christian presence, and so the gospel is needed there desperately, right there in North America. So I'm excited to go and be part of that. Here's some more family updates. The crafting co-op, Kim's business with her friend Jay Powell, has grown beyond just doing kids clubs to being hired by the city of Louisville as an event host at city festivals and things like that. They're beginning to make money and network with other business owners, so pray that that will continue to grow and become profitable. Kim and Jay Powell really want to use their business not only to enrich kids and their creativity, but to teach them about the heart of God. So it's a business and a ministry. Pray that God continues to bless it. Our family hit 3 milestone birthdays right in a row this year. Ella turned 16. Yes, she's driving. Evie turned 13, so we have 2 teenagers in the house now. And Kim, she hit another round number with a 0 behind it. You'll have to ask her about that. Thanks to those of you who've been praying along with us for God to provide another car for our family. We've been needing another reliable car, but we didn't want to shop for it. Didn't really know how we would afford it. We couldn't, add a car payment to our budget. We were just praying that the Lord would drop one in our lap, something like a Toyota Camry. Well, thanks for praying, because He did. The next trip I'm recruiting for is back to the Middle East. We're going back to the Arabian Gulf, and that's in November. So there's a lot of time for things to settle down. Let's pray for peace in the Middle East, as always, but especially so that our friends there will be safe, our partners there will be able to continue working and preparing to host us, to reach their friends and neighbors for Christ. If you want to go, let me know. If you want to go but you're scared, let me know. I'll talk you through it, give you some encouragement, some training, some help, and let's go be about the task that Christ gave us.